Hello, this is Titanosaurus Productions, and welcome to Cancelled Kaiju Film Friday. Now, if you haven't heard of the series, this is the first episode. Every Friday, I do a different canceled kaiju film. At least that's how it's going to be, and that's how I hope it's going to be, because the last episode got delayed. So we're just going to start this right now, and all the information is from the Big Book of Japanese Giant Monster Movies, The Lost Films, which is a really good book. You can find out a lot more information if you check out the actual book. You can get it on Amazon. But anyway, let's look at the film. Bride of Godzilla. Okay, so it's got that question mark at the end. That's part of the actual title. Anyway, this was supposed to be the first Godzilla sequel, and it has a lot of elements from films like Rodan and Godzilla Raids Again. But anyway, let's just begin. So, the intended release date was 1956. The third draft date was June 17th, 1955. Screenplay by Hideo Unagami. Pardon me if I say a lot of these Japanese names wrong. Proposed cast and characters: Dr. Senji Shida, scientist; foster daughter, artificial human; Yoshi Shida, brother of Dr. Shida, manager of Kaiju mine; Dr. Yanai, scientist, former friend of Dr. Shida; Eve, wife of Dr. Shida and artificial human; Suzuki Yamato, reporter. Suzuki and Yamato are two different characters. Makoto Yanai, daughter of Dr. Yanai. Proposed monsters: Godzilla, Anguirus, Archaeopteryx. Basically Rodan. Robot daughter, chameleon, sea serpent, mammoth, giant fleas, octopus people, mermaids. Story: a scientist named Dr. Zenji Shida postulates that Godzilla likely comes from a prehistoric cavern deep within the earth. When his brother Yoshi Shida discovers a breach in the Kaiju mines, it reveals an opening into a prehistoric cavern. To explore, Dr. Shida sends his foster daughter, an artificial human robot that he created, to explore this ecosystem. There she finds an ancient world consisting of Godzilla, Anguirus, a giant, basically Rodan, giant blood-sucking fleas, and many other prehistoric life forms. On top of this, she also befriends a group of mermaids that live there. Later, Godzilla, Anguirus, and basically Rodan and the giant chameleon emerge through the opening and attack Kaiju. Dr. Shida launches his latest creation, the Bride of Godzilla, a giant robot made in the likeness of Shida's ex-lover, which dispatches all of the monsters but Godzilla. Also, just so you know, the giant robot daughter is naked. As it turns out, the bride is immune to his atomic ray, and Godzilla becomes infatuated with the bride and drags it to his underground lair. Then the bride reveals it is a secret weapon and detonates itself in a nuclear explosion, destroying the underground world. The end. Now, wasn't that a lovely story? More details on the stuff. Basically, let's start out with all of the monsters. Of course, you got Godzilla and Anguirus. Just so you know, the only Godzilla movie that had come out until this point was Godzilla, like the original. And so the whole thing about God Anguirus was going to be a new monster at the time. There's some old concept art of him from that. Yeah, they've concept art of what he was going to look like for this movie. Because this was going to be his first film, because of course the only Godzilla movie coming out that had come out at the time was the original. Archaeopteryx. I wish it was a simpler name, but dinosaur names are always confusing. Yeah, that's basically Rodan, and a lot of elements that played out in this script were put into Rodan. Robot daughter, giant naked Japanese woman, robot daughter. Yeah, basically that. Chameleon, that's just a giant chameleon. You can see that in the image right now if you're actually looking at the screen of whatever device you have, if it's already on the screen. It's the green thing with the purple tongue. It's that easy to see. It's a chameleon. Sea serpent. I believe the mermaids, which I'll get to in a moment, were supposed to fight the sea serpent. And yeah, in one scene, but there's not much details on that. If you get the book, you can learn more about it. Mammoth, just giant woolly mammoths walking around. They're just there. Giant fleas, those probably, I would assume, attacked at least one person. Because they just seem like something thrown in there. Octopus people, I saw no mention of them in here, but they're listed in the proposed monsters, so I might as well say it. Mermaids. Don't know why they're classified as a monster, but at the end, when there were these people in a Navy boat, I believe, a mermaid came up from the underground place with her child, and one of the guys got startled and shot the baby in the head. This is a very dark story, and the reason it wasn't made is because it's just too fantastical. The budget would have been huge, and I mean, today I would love to see this made by someone, because I just find this to be a really interesting concept. So, yeah, that's all for this video. Goodbye. And tune in next week to find the Volcano Monsters, an even more Americanized version of Godzilla than Godzilla, King of the Monsters.